All right, first start, ready to go.
All right, there you go, emergency bus.
Emergency bus, initializing system.
What are we looking for, do you remember?
System to come on and make sure that we've got some enunciators.
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
Got some grass on the picture.
Okay, torque we don't need. So we were saying that these are the ones that we would need. We don't need the oil pressure, the oil temperature.
Mm-hmm. And we'll want all that for engine start, and we'll get that for engine start. This is just that dumbed down thing. So what we're waiting for is for it to kind of, we want the standby to boot up. We don't want to start it before it's ready to go. But more importantly, we want to look at this stuff before we start. Some of this stuff is going to clear away when we turn the battery on, but feather is a big one. We want to make sure we're not in beta, right? Okay. So we're looking for the absence of beta. We're looking to make sure that the avionics and the rest of this stuff are all, right? Let's turn the battery on. And we're looking for this red light to go on, right? So this red light goes on, that means that that battery bus is being charged from the main bus, okay? Let's go ahead and turn that off. And now we're looking for our regular cast messages here, right? PO heat, feather, takeoff config. Those are all good messages. That's all stuff that we're looking for. Okay? Good so far. We'll come across here, do a flow. Across here, right? We'll turn the strobe light on so they know that we're getting ready to start.
it because there's no clear prop.
Make sure all this stuff is off. Which is, you'll be able to hear this, by the way. Right, so you can hear them. So if it's nice and quiet in here, then you know that that stuff's off. We're going to look at the flap lever indicator and make sure that it matches the position of the wings outside there. Okay. Trim is set in a neutral to takeoff position. So somewhere between N and takeoff is where you typically like it to be. Okay. Condition lever is off. This is off. Gear is down. Okay. We have 3 green indication here. Right. Cabin controller is off.
That's right.
Bleed air is off. Right. So we get a cooler engine start when we do that. Okay. Parking brakes off, so we'll hold the brakes and then make sure that all of your circuit breakers are in.
Alright, so.
Alright, look good?
TAWS system test. Okay.
Alright. Good, so now we'll go manual.
So why do we do manual versus auto?
Because we're starting the engine, we want to make sure that they're on. So we're telling it to turn on. So boost pumps will come on at a certain thing all by themselves, and ignitions will come on at certain things by themselves, right? What we're doing is turning them on so we don't have it freak out during an engine start, because you need it on to start the engine. Okay. Yeah. On. Now this condition lever is going to come up. It's a lot tighter than the one we flew before, and it's only going to go into the middle position. It's not going to come all the way up. Okay. This is for cold start stuff if it's less than 0 outside.
That's after we get to the 13 or 15.
Yeah, if you want to let it stabilize, so definitely more than 13. But if it'll go to 16 or 17, you'll probably get a cooler engine start because I let it go a little bit. Okay. So your right hand up here.
Left hand here.
Well, I do the right hand up. I do both hands from the same here. Yep. So push it. Then you want to make sure that it takes over, right?
Okay. So there's 10, 11, 13, 14. You're waiting for it to stabilize?
Yep, so then go ahead and now it looks good. It's not moving up. Come out and up. Good. Feel that detent. And you keep your hand here ready to shut it off if we need to.
And what would I look for that?
Looking for fuel. This has to get way hot. Okay. Right, so fuel flow is 90. That's good. Light off. The ITT came up. Now we're primarily watching this to kind of see where it slows and speaks or peaks. In this case, it's much slower start and a much cooler start than the airplane. Remember how that thing pegged up to 700 something? This thing is going to go up to there on a normal start. So we got extra fuel, starter came off, we got rollback, so the engine's starting. That's a good engine start. Much smoother, much better than the older SCU. That's okay, that's just a cold engine. It'll come down pretty quickly.
Once it thins out the oil.
Exactly. And it's cold out. Alright, so we're going to go auto and off.
Auto?
Yep, auto.
And off.
Yep, and off.
When would you ever use auto here?
On flight, it stays in auto unless we're takeoff and landing. But now it would be going tick, 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 tick in there just to keep it at idle, and it doesn't need that. So we're just saving the life of the igniter by turning it off. Okay? So generator on. Electrical load comes down here. It's pretty high. The battery just used a bunch of power, right? So then it's going to come high and it's going to start working itself down. Alternator on. Alternator stays off at 0. Avionics on. The rest of this stuff is going to boot up. Stall warning test. You can hit that right now.
Stall. Stall.
Test stall. That's a good test.
Stall.
Okay. Come over across here. Those just stay how they are. Come back down. We can turn the heater on if we want. Can you turn this up?
I didn't touch it.
Oh, okay. That's really high for my bridges. What's the got? Leave it there for now. Auto. Good. 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 It's fine. Soft key. Make sure the stuff is yellow when it's not current. There's the soft key there. You're going to go down, down, right? Make sure your rudder trim is set. Remember there's a detent there.
So we want it to the right.
You want it lined up on this green line there. Alright, trim is set. Turn this on normal. Actually put this in first. Put this on normal. Okay, and then continue your flow over there. And so we're good with that flow, right?
I think so.
Right, so then what you would do is you go in here. There's a couple different ways of doing this. This is your empty weight, I assume. We have about 500 pounds of us in here total. You can just type that if you know